Okay, this is Jamar, and yeah, this is looking really good. Um, I think what I like is I feel like the face really captured the look of the drawing and converted it into 3D really well. It's got some good shape to it. Maybe kind of soften this transition a little bit. For that, I might use surfaces, sculpt geometry tool options, and use the smooth and on stroke, put on reflection, and then you can adjust the size of these by holding down B and click and dragging with the left mouse, and then just kind of soften that up and even that out a little bit. Maybe a little bit, whoops, a little bit here too. But yeah, that's looking really good. Um, you might want to increase the size of this mouth cavity. Um, might scale it out here and pull those down. Maybe turn off symmetry for a second and maybe use the circular eyes thing. Twist that to straighten that out. And then scale that up a little bit more. Maybe flatten it about this way, and then Control E and then W for move tool, and then pull that back some. Maybe hit T to get this back, and then add a division. Sometimes it freaks out when you do that. You can just add a division with the multicut tool, Control Shift X, and then grab this and scale that up. Anyways, then you have a sort of a mouth cavity, so when he opens his mouth, there's something in there. I don't know why this looks weird. That's making me nervous, but I think it's just a display thing. I don't think that's a geometry problem. Yeah, well anyways, great job on the face. I feel like these pieces could need more holding edges to get that kind of shape, I think. To get that sense that there's these distinct, front and side, because it's sort of too rounded here. So I think Control Shift X and then, get some more edges in here. Something like that. I probably should have had. See how that looks like it just has more structure now? I mean, it looks like you did it on that color area. These are nicely done. This looks pretty good. And it looks like you're adding some of those edges you need in here, although this side gets a little soft, so let's put on symmetry, Control Shift X, and yeah, see that? And maybe, I guess this is supposed to have those creases to it, but maybe you want to spread out the crease as it gets to the edge. Like that, shift right mouse click, slide edge, and maybe move that up, and shift double click to just wrap around there, shift right mouse click, slide edge, and see how that's, you know what I mean, like it sort of smooths out as it gets to the edge. I think that, so maybe just kind of spread these out as they go to the edge. That might look a little nicer. What else? Pants are looking good. I think again, maybe some holding edges here. The only thing is that then it puts this all the way around here, and then you might see a little bit of a crease there. So if you're going to do that, I might take this and around to there, and then shift right mouse click slide edge and kind of spread that out. Maybe actually scale that to flatten that out a little bit. Shift right mouse click slide edge. And then you can shape the thighs a little more if you want. But then, see, I still think that needs more. I mean, an inside one here. Whoops. It's getting better. It's starting to have a little bit more thickness to it. Maybe you can push these in a bit. I feel like maybe they're a bit... whoops, I want that on, not off. Just take these faces and then maybe B for soft select and push that in some, I think. I think those will look better if they're a bit lower profile. I like that better. Look more like pockets now and less like sort of cases on the side. You had boots, which I kind of liked better than this sort of cuff. It feels more like a military uniform thing with boots than with just shoes, which wouldn't be that big of a deal, I think, to build. Let me just isolate one of those, because you already have the top to it here. Just select this face loop there, and maybe I'll get rid of some of these edges actually for the moment. This one and this one and that one. Shift right mouse click delete edge, and then select this face loop. Oh, it's already selected. And then Control E, W for move that straight up. Let's unisolate this. We're kind of like, and I think with these, let me just isolate these. I'm just gonna select these faces and shift period, which is the greater than symbol, grow that, whoops, up to here, and just delete those off, and then, well, actually just delete them off because they'll be covered up by the boots, and then spend some time, shaping this better. Let's actually do this. Let's select this, whoops, delete that out and delete that. Let's isolate these real quick. And I might use circular eyes to get myself a better start on the, on that shape. Let's not try to scale when we're in symmetry. That's going to mess it up. Let's unisolate that just so we have the, the leg as reference. Don't worry about that at the moment. And as high as you want. And then maybe you can scale this way a bit and that back, something like that. Scale back out a bit, and then Control Shift X, and I'll get another edge loop in there, and then I can scale that out a little bit, Anyways, you can add more shape, but my point is you're not far off from making a boot. It'd be easy to do, and that was your original design, and I kind of liked it. I think it. So scaling in, W, move it down, just extrude again. I'm just using Control E for extrude. Add those holding edges in. Anyway, you can use a little bit more shape, but my point is you're really not that far from building a boot, which I would argue, is a good look for this character. Has more military look. Maybe you could shape this more. I wonder if you can get rid of that edge. Shift right mouse click delete edge. because I think that was making the corners too sharp. Shift right mouse click to the edge. That one goes all the way around, but what about this one? Oh, that's that one. Well, I'll just select this one, but deselect these, and maybe shift right mouse click, slide edge. Move that back a little bit. You know. Anyways, it could use more shaping, I think, but you could do that if you want. But anyway, I think this is great. I think you did a really good job. Maybe you could shape this a little bit more to the body. There's kind of some fairly big gaps there, and at the back I think you could kind of pull some of those points in a little closer too. But yeah, really good job on this.